Hello and welcome back to Spark Coding. In this video, we will solve our next question of code wars, that is filling an array. You can get the link in the description. The question is very simple. We want an array, but not just an old array, an array with contents. Write a function that produces an array with numbers 0 to n-1 in it. For example, the following code will result in an array containing the numbers 0 to 4. So it is passing the number 5 and we have to fill the array from number 0 to n-1. So let's try the traditional approach. What we can do, we can first create an empty array. Let's suppose we are getting number n is equal to 5. So we will first create an empty array. Let the array name be li, and we will just iterate with for loop for x in range. Now the main question is, what will be inside the range? As we all know, in range we give the starting position, that is 0, and ending position, that is n. So when I am giving the ending position of n, it will go up to n-1. It will not go till n, but it will go up to n-1. So when I trying this, then I have to just append it into the array, li.append. It will add to the end of the array, and we have to append x, and then we have to return the array. But when we are passing 0, the range has a default value. If we pass only single number, it takes it as a ending number, and it puts starting number as 0. Okay, let's see that with an example. I am opening my Python terminal, and here I am writing help of range. As you can see, when we are passing a single number, it will take it as a stop number, that is the ending number, and it will put the starting number as 0. We can see that in here. In this example, range 4 produces 0, 1, 2, 3. If you think of the question, this is exactly what we want. We are passing an number n, and it should produce number from 0 to up to n-1. So let's try this solution. So I am creating an empty array, let's say li. Then we have to iterate till n-1. So for x in range n, so it will start with 0 and it will go up to n-1. If the number is 5, then it will go from 0 to 4. Then we have to append it to an array. li.append, we have to append the value x, which is the iterable, and after appending we have just to return the li. That is our array. Let's try the solution. Okay, it is failing one case. Now let's take a look at this example. So what they have given is, they have put the array n, the n is empty. While they are passing the number, they are passing an empty number. It basically means they are not passing the argument. So we have to make changes to the function. We have to put n is equal to, what we can put, we have to put the starting number, that is 0. So what will happen? The range of 0 will produce an empty array, and that is the output. You can see that here. The array argument is empty, so at that time we have to just return the empty array. So when my starting number and ending number is 0, the range will not produce any input, and we will not append anything into the li, and we will directly return empty array. So let's try again. Okay, all the 3 test cases passing. I will attempting the solution. All the test cases are passed. We can see 103 test cases are passed. Okay, this was the traditional approach. In Python, we have something called as a least comprehension. We can use that. Okay, first let us see how least comprehension work. Okay, I am erasing it. Okay, the basic syntax of least comprehension is, we want the variable or constant that we want to generate, constant or any other thing that we want to generate, and for syntax for x in range or for x in array or something. We can put anything here, but it needs to be iterable. For now I am writing range and putting 10, for example. So what will happen? Let's suppose we take an example. I am creating 1, I have to create value 1 5 times. So I am writing 1 for x in range of 5. The syntax is very simple. We have to put iterable or constant that we want to generate. For now I wanted to generate 1 5 times, so I have written the constant 1, and then how many times we have to generate, we have to decide it with the for loop. So for x in range 5 times. So what this will produce? This will produce me an array with 1 5 times. 1 2 3 4 5. Let's suppose instead of 1 I wanted to generate the variable that is been iterating. For example, this x. What this x will do? It takes the value from 0 to 4, and we want that value only. So what can I do? I can put x here itself, then for x in range of 5. Now what this will generate? This will generate 0 1 2 3 4. Why 0 1 2 3 4? Because the range starts from 0, and I am just putting the ending number or stop number. So this is the basic syntax of list comprehension. For this question, how can we use that? Same, the last example, we have to generate x for x in the range of the number that is been given, that is n, and we just have to return that number. So let's try this solution. We have to return x for x in the range of n, and we have put n is equal to 0 for that edge case. So let's try the solution. Okay, all 3 test cases are passed. Let's attempt it. Okay, all 103 test cases are passed. So this is the list comprehension way. There is one more method that we can use. Okay, first we will see how the range works. This is the range function. Let us take a look at the description. This return an object that produces a sequence of integers from start inclusive to stop exclusive by step. That is the definition of range function. We can observe from the first sentence they have written something as return an object. So first let us see what kind of object it returns. So I am first creating an empty variable, a range variable. Let's suppose range of 5, and I am checking its type. So it's returning me a type of range object, object of range class. Okay. So what can I do? I can check if it is iterable or not. We have definitely checked it before when we use for x in the range and passed it the variable or something or some constant. So it was iterable. So from this definition I can use list function. Let us take a look at the list function. What is say? By default, if we don't pass anything, it will create an empty list. Here it is written, if no argument is given, the constructor creates a new empty list. But there is something variable, there is some argument known as iterable, and we have to pass the argument must be iterable if specified. So the argument we have to pass in the list constructor needs to be an iterable, and from this we can take a look. From that for loop, we understood that the range is iterable. So in the list constructor, I can directly pass a range object. Let's try this. I am putting range of 5 here, and I am directly passing it to the list constructor. So it is giving me the desired output, that is 0 1 2 3 4. So we can also put this as a solution in codewars. Let's try this solution. I am directly returning it, and I am creating my list using list constructor, and inside this I have to pass the iterable, and the iterable is coming from range function. So I have to pass range of n. We have overcome the edge case here, n is equal to 0, so it will not produce an error. So let's try this solution. Okay, all 3 test cases are passed. Let's attempt this solution. Okay, all 103 test cases are passed. So this was the question for filling an array. You can take a look of other solutions when you submit the solution. So I guess they have also used same type of methods, list of range of n, and this is the list comprehension way. Okay, this is another solution we could have used. What is happening here? They have created a list syntax, basically square brackets, and they have used the unpacking numbers. So basically they are unpacking the iterable. When we put a star behind an iterable, it unpacks the variables unpacks the values. We can take a look of this. Let's suppose my list contains 1, 2, 3, 4. When I try *li, it will give me an error first. Okay, why it is giving me error? Because I cannot use it in the REPL environment, that is in my command prompt. So let's try with print *li. Now it is giving me output 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically it unpacks the value and it separates out with the separator value with the separator argument. If I change my separator here, this the separator with \n, so it will give me an error 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is one of the way we could have used. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. This will help me make more creative content in the future. Thank you.